Hey ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Actually, who am I kidding? It's just gentlemen. And the ladies that are watching this to impress the gentlemen, it's not gonna work. Believe me. A mirror might work. Or, other ways. But, this is mostly for guys, I guess. This is a mystery unboxing. This is something I just got in the mail today. And this is something I've always wanted. I've spoken about it in the past. If you look at any of my older videos, you'll see, my collection and what it's sorely missing or lacking. But, it's something I think is overpriced for what it is, although it's a very, very good system. That being said, it should be as much as, say, a Sega Genesis or even a Super Nintendo, but the price is, it's in the Neo Geo range. Even though it's a good system, it's fun, it doesn't hold a candle to that. Anyways, this just came in the mail. I haven't even opened it yet. I just wanted to go over this with you and show you what I got. Hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I will, because I'm going to be having a lot of gaming videos with this new device. A lot of bubble wrap here. It's bubble wrapped with bubble wrap, which has to be the safest thing you can do. I mean, that's the safest bubble wrap I've ever seen. Let's see. What is this? Green bubble wrap. I guess that's more expensive for designers, right? You always want to save your bubble wrap because you never know when you're going to have to ship stuff out or maybe even long-term store something later on, which I might do if I don't have anything on display anymore. Well, I could say the seller truly cares about what he's selling. We're still going. That was just layer one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look at this V. Another layer. Can you guys guess what it is yet? That's right. It's a Turbo Duo. Not only that, it's a Turbo Duo R made by NEC, Hudson Soft. For those that still don't know, TurboGrafx 16. This unit came out a little later in the TurboGrafx 16's life. If any of you don't know, TurboGrafx 16, same as the PC Engine. Obviously, it has a region lockout in between them, but came out in 1987 in Japan to compete against Nintendo. In fact, NEC and Hudson went to Nintendo asking to use their hardware, which was an 8-bit processor. Pretty fast one, but 8-bit nonetheless, with two separate 16-bit video encoders and one's a color encoder. So you get a shit ton of color, more than a Genesis or even Super Nintendo. The only thing that has more color than a TurboGrafx 16 in the 16-bit age is, Neo Geo, and you can argue Atari Jaguar, but we all know it's really 64 bits. Anyways, Nintendo said, nope, we don't want it, so they made their own PC Engine. The original PC Engine was maybe the size of this guy right here, and it outputted only RF, and it, you only get mono sound out of RF, and you got amazing color, really fast objects on the screen, no parallax scrolling. I mean, you can kind of fake it with sprites, but no traditional parallax you see in a Genesis or a Super Nintendo. Anyways, TurboGrafx 16 later came out with a CD add-on. What that did was it didn't add any horsepower, it added a little BIOS chip and a little extra bit of memory that you put in here. And you have CD quality games. Now that means you get CD sound, you get a little bit more on the disc. Some of you might see Fighting Street if not look at it. Not really that impressive, but fun. Certainly the music's great. And then you get the upgraded, system BIOS card. System 3, I think. I'm not a complete expert, but what that did was, again, updated the BIOS some more. A lot more memory, and then you get graphics. And much better graphics, much larger games. The most notable, Dracula X for its only Japanese release. This is the main reason I bought this thing, for that game only. It's amazing. It's better than the Super Nintendo version, better than the Genesis version. Arguably the best Castlevania game made, period. Certainly the best music. That alone. That goes without saying. So all that stuff you have to keep buying, you have to keep adding on to your TurboGrafx 16. It's only got AV out or RF. And then finally, in Japan only, you get what's known as an arcade card. Again, ups the ante. I think it's up to 4 megabytes of memory, which is a fuck ton for anything in the 16-bit era. And you get mostly Neo Geo ports, Art of Fighting, I think Fatal Fury's in there, World Heroes. They're decent ports. They're not bad. They make real good use of the system, and they do a nice little trick for zooming in where they just, I guess they increase the size of everything and then they shrink the screen. So it's not bad, and it's certainly worth playing. This is the Turbo Duo. This is a Turbo Duo R. The original Turbo Duos were black. They had, it doesn't show it here obviously, but they had headphone jack out, and they had problems, those guys. I think it had something to do with the power supply being close to the sound supply. It would cook, I guess, whatever's in there that makes them hot, that produces a sound. I want to say servos or transistors or whatever it's called. So the sound would cut out and the CD drive would die. And then you got a broken system, and they're very expensive to repair. Obviously, you need the Turbo Duo community to do that for you. These were later revamps. This is a Duo R. What this came with is, obviously, they removed it. The headphone jack. It's a little bit cheaper. It's really thin plastic. This is a Japanese model. This is actually a Duo PC Engine. This has the system card built in, just like any Turbo Duo. So I don't have to worry about anything except for arcade cards. An arcade card is $30 anyways for the Duo. Still just one single solitary, controller port. They do that, I guess, to nickel and dime. So you have to buy a multi-tap. And you can play up to 5 players, which is good for Bomberman. AV out. This guy normally is just, yellow, red, white, just video, composite. This has, however, been modded to accept S-Video out. Now, I really wanted RGB, but S-Video, especially through my giant, CRT, my Sony Vega, it's going to look damn good. And also you get the stereo sound through a CD. It's going to be awesome. You flip this guy up here, it's where your cards go. But if you see this little switch here, that's obviously not factory. This is, well, as you can guess, this is allowing it for region modding. So if I want to play a Japanese PC Engine game or an American TurboGrafx 16 game, it is done. It is all in one. So I've actually retired my traditional TurboGrafx 16 with Turbo Booster today. No more AV. I started with RF with everybody else. I just went to AV, and now I'm going to S-Video. So this is the Turbo Duo R. I highly recommend them. Don't pay too much. Don't let eBay, conquer you with these pricings. I'm seeing amazing price hikes now. I'm buying stuff I don't even want now because I know it's going up in the future. I got stacks upon Saturns and Atari Jaguars, and I don't know how many Genesis I have. Grab Super Nintendos. Go out there. Go to the swap meets. Hold on to these things. They are going up in value. This guy, and I paid a fair price. Not too much, not too little. I paid very fair for a fully modded, fully working Duo. The guy replaced the laser inside of it. Do not, if you buy one of these, don't be a cheapskate and play burn games. You'll ruin it. That's half the reason why that laser goes. That and plus H. This is from 1992, 1993 after all. Very attractive looking system. It's very rare. You put this in your room, they know you're a serious gamer. Simple on-off switch, and then the BIOS switch. This is all you need. And this is many systems in one. It's PC Engine, TurboGrafx 16, Super CD, Super CD2, and Arcade. It's like 5 different systems in one. You can, however, get an EverDrive for those that want to play Magical Chase or all these overpriced cue card games. They're nuts. Just get an EverDrive. $100, load up 10 ROMs, and you're set. That's not all that's in this box. Let us move on. Let us see what this guy's crazy. It's a first class within first class. I'm not going to say the guy's name, but this guy loves shipping me bubble wrap. Cue cards. This might be my first PC Engine game. I don't have any, never had any PC Engine games. So, half the reason to own a PC Engine or a modded TurboGrafx 16 is this guy right here. And if you know what this is the Japanese only release of Super Street Fighter 2. Or, I'm sorry, just regular Street Fighter 2. 2 copies of Legendary Axe now, by the way. So you take a look at this, and there's a regular Legendary Axe card. This is a dime a dozen. You get these, you can still get these in your Happy Meals these days. But they're all the same size. Notice the width of this guy. As you see, it's twice the thickness down at the bottom. It's because this is 20 megabytes. That is gigantic for something that's still small, even in today's comparison. This is a very, very comparable port to the Genesis and Super Nintendo. A lot of people argue it's got better music. I disagree. A lot of people argue it has better sound effects across the board. That I do agree. It doesn't move as fast as a Sega Genesis. It certainly moves faster than the Super Nintendo version. It's a very, very good port. Half the reason just to have this guy. It's the largest game. It's not too expensive, but it will be. So this is one of those games to buy. This guy. PC Kid 3, also known as Bonk 3. Bonk 3D on a CD is going to be like $200-300, $400. I don't know why. It's just expensive. The American version of Bonk 3, even on the card, is expensive. $70, $80, $90. This guy, loose, $30. It's the same game. It's got cooler Japanese graphics on it. Highly recommend it. I'm probably going to play through it tonight. Bonk games are not hard, but they make you push through. There's a lot of cheapness to it. You can get killed if you're not, on the ball. But as long as you keep progressing, keep pushing, it's good. I wish the boss battles a little bit harder. Some of them are cheap, and you just got to keep spamming them through your lives. But there's so many extra lives in the game that you just keep pushing. This, however, this game I've never played before. I've only watched videos of it. I'm very excited to play this game. I've also never played this game either on the PC Engine. Obviously, I played every other version known to man. This game is great. It's very simple. It's got nice eye-popping colors. I think it's a launch title, '89 for the US. Obviously, there's not crazy graphics, but the controls are good. Very cartoony, very hard, very good game. This is a traditional. You'll never get tired of this game. It's my second copy. Again, dime a dozen. Don't pay more than $5 for this guy. Maybe $10 brand new, but that's Legendary X. It's like the Sonic 1 on Genesis, or Mario, the original Mario World, which they charge more now because it's Mario. But let us move on to even more bubble wrap here. Be very careful, kids. Don't try to fly with these either, and always cut away from yourself. You don't want to get blood on your new games. Jesus Christ. I can't tell you how many of these kind of boxes I have up in my attic. But that's right, there's some Japanese writing in there, which means it's fancy, possibly expensive. So let us move on. What else do we get? Sidearms. This is a nice Japanese shooter. This is a CD-ROM game. It's obviously in Japanese, so any of my Japanese fans, which probably none of you, the 3 people that have actually watched this video, this is a TurboGrafx CD game, or Duo game. The good news about having a CD unit, regardless of which unit you have, it will play any CD, but you do need the BIOS card. So if you have an American BIOS card, like a Super System 3 card, you TurboGrafx 16, you're golden for any game from anywhere on the planet, except for the arcade cards. Now, if you want to put an arcade card in your American system, you're going to have to region mod it. It's the only way around it. Sorry, guys. You might be able to emulate it through an EverDrive. If that case, go for it. This is just a very good shooter. It's going to have CD music. Really neat. It's got that Japanese. This is a CD-ROM, Super CD-ROM too. So this will work on any Duo or any TurboGrafx 16 with a system upgrade card, System 3, BIOS 3, or an arcade card. Arcade card supersedes everything. So, very cool game. Can't wait to play this. Bomberman 93. Remember I was telling you about having that multiplayer TurboTap? Well worth it just for this game alone. This is 94, 93. This is just a multiplayer. You run around, you place bombs, a strategy, you try to trap your opponents, try to trap enemies. If you're not careful, you trap yourself. Which is neat. There's a card right there. So I thought it was a CD, but whatever. No loading times. Volume 56. This is from 1992. Very colorful. There's a nice ad inside here, which it's like a little wallet you can buy for your Hue cards. That'd be kind of cool today. You pull out your wallet. You got, I mean my other wallet, not my PC Engine use. Moving on. This game I'm really excited. What's it called? Image Fight 2? I remember looking this online. It's just, again, another shooter, but this is why you want this system. I mean, this is known as a shooter system. It's very heavy, so it's got a very thick book that's been taped up, which is why I see it's so heavy. So this is obviously just gamer condition here, but there's like so much stuff in here. So much memorabilia you can go through. I can't read anything that's going on in here, so you're just going to have to play it. Oh, I see. This thing's gotten wet. Oh well, as long as the game works. It's obviously not collector's condition, but it's worth something. Image Fight 2, Deep Striker, huh? Again, this is a Super CD-ROM game. For those of you out there who want to play this, make sure your system can handle it. But some really cool graphics, excellent FMV scenes. It's going to be real nice. Here's a loose one, Red Alert. Obviously, it's missing the case. And this is just a regular CD-ROM 2, not Super System. So this will work pretty much on anything with the BIOS. It's kind of like a run and gun. It might be two-player, I don't know, because I only got a single controller. It's got some really cool cutscenes in it. Fun shooter, a lot of good colors. It's TurboGrafx 16, and everything about it, colors. You want those colors. Well, here's another piece of dog shit, Dungeon Explorer. I mean, a lot of people like this game. It's okay. I'm not too happy with it. I guess this stuff was flood damaged. I don't know. This is taped together too, maybe from opening it so many times, but whatever. I mean, I'm not here to make a ton of money off Dungeon Explorer. I mean, it's not an expensive game. I would just get it just to add to your collection. This is just a game I'm going to put in once. You know, I guess it's a mild RGB element. Look, Dungeon Explorer, TurboGrafx, you printed it out with a 1982 dot matrix printer, and then photocopied it, and then taped it on. But, I digress. As long as the game works, I don't really care. The only thing I really care about is like the Neo Geo stuff. That I keep pristine. Everything else is out. I use it. It's got thumbprints. It's got cuts on it from throwing stuff at it when I get mid. Next game, incredibly rare, incredibly expensive, and he must have left it in the box and shipped it to me accidentally. And if you're watching this video, I'm keeping it. I'm not going to give it back to you. So this game you gave me is easily going to be the most expensive game in my collection, aside from maybe, you know, my Metal Slug or whatever. But Keith Courage and Alpha Zones, it's a very, very rare game. Not too many people had this in the box, let alone the box alone for this game. The box alone is worth $100 and $150. Now this isn't mint condition, so maybe I can get $125 for it. The game goes for $300, but combined, you can get upwards of $500–600 as long as the serial numbers match. So this game is very good. It defines the system entirely, and single-handedly kept it afloat from '89 to about '94, '95. This game is just, if your friend had it, you're over his house every weekend playing it straight through, because you know that when you went home, you had no chance of getting this game. It's very rare. I am very lucky to have this game. And I'm going to move on. I'm going to put this down before I break it. You never know. Last game. Again, I don't know what this guy does with his booklets, but this is Psychic Storm. And if you've been following along, you can guess. It's a shooter. Another really good shooter. It's a Super CD-ROM game, so it's got updated, better graphics because it's got more memory in there. A lot of good colors. I mean, this is a shooter system, and this game I've looked at, and the system just does shooters better than... It certainly kicks the shit out of the Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo would melt if it tried anything. Genesis can easily keep up the speed, can do a couple more graphics, but the colors, I mean, when you compare them, it's not even close. 512 versus 61 on colors, plus a couple of tricks. Maybe get the 64. You could triple it with shade and highlight, but this thing does 480 plus on screen without even trying. Again, not too expensive of a game. Go ahead and get it. At least it's in the original case. These manuals are dog shit. I wish I knew that, but you can't be happy always. There's the camera. Put that back in there. You know what? We're not done yet, though. So that alone is a good collection to have, right? But, you know, you need to play the games, right? And you have a controller. And one of the flaws, and again, this is 1987, so foresight, you know, hindsight's 2020, and the foresight at the time, video games weren't going to change much. You know, you got systems, they lasted for years. You know, case in point, the 2600. That thing was a beast for 10 years. Or kind of like our Xbox 360 today. It's going on 10 years. But, 2 buttons, you had turbo switches, you had a run button, and I guess the select, I forget, I don't know, run and select. Basically a carbon copy of the NES controller with rounded edges. It looked cooler, it said turbo on it. But you want to play any decent game with 2 buttons? I mean, at least the Genesis had 3, and then it came out with the best ever 6-button controller. That's the best controller ever. I mean, if you can convert your Genesis controller to your Turbo, your games would be enjoyed tenfold. But NEC Avenue gave us an upgrade. They gave us a 3-button controller. And if you're a baller like me, you have the Avenue 6-button. You have to have this to play Street Fighter. Otherwise, you have 2 buttons you got to split up between. You know how Street Fighter works, 6 buttons. So this is my controller from now on. It's got turbo switches. You have its A and B settings, so if you want just a traditional A and B, you can. I gotta get used to this, so it's wider. I mean, the original TurboGrafx controller is damn good, but this just feels weird. It's got slow motion, which just pauses, unpauses the game. Rapid fire for buttons 1, buttons 2. You know, for those of you used to going up here to flip your switches, you're gonna have to jump your finger up here to switch that. It's still damn good though. I enjoy it very much. Run select. It's made by NEC Avenue. A and B setting. Only thing I don't like about this will only fit into a PC engine. You can't plug this into your TurboGrafx 16. Heavens no. Why would that make any sense? Nope. They gotta jam it in your ass a little bit more, and you're gonna have to buy a converter. Readily available, but just buy it again. Nickel and dime BS. I mean, from the likes I haven't seen since Apple with their nickel and diming bullcrap. But anyway, so if I want to hook up my TurboGrafx 16 controller, just that, and plug it in, you're just better off buying a PC Engine controller. I have a 6-button here. It's damn good. Look for these Avenue 6 pads. They seem high quality. Non-smoker house, which is good. It's a little dirty on the inside, but it doesn't feel grimy. I'll just open it up and clean it. But that's it. This is a must-have. You have to have this. It just makes the system relevant. It makes it feel more serious. This is a serious gamepad, and I'm just enjoying just holding it. I think I'm going to get used to this. It's one of those controllers you're going to have to hold flat like this instead of putting your fingers behind it like this. You could, but it's too big. It feels like it's going to pop. So I recommend holding it like this. This is a very good controller. And I'm happy. Last but not least, what do you guys think this is? If you've been watching, you should know what else the system's going to need to get the party started. The business end. My S-Video cable. And I cannot wait to get this going. Here we go. This is socketed too. It doesn't have holes drilled on the back. It doesn't have stupid ports sticking out the back. I hate that. And when you guys hack up your systems, and a lot of you guys don't. If you have a Genesis, plug in a SCART cable and convert it. Beautiful RGB out of the box. Same goes for your Neo Geo. Super Nintendo outputs, at least the first gen, outputs S-Video. You can mod them to RGB, or you can use a SCART cable and plug it through a SCART converter. The only thing you should be really modding is original Nintendo top loader, getting a component out of that and upgrading your mod chip. Or these guys, you can mod them internally for S-Video. It has it there. You just plug this guy in. Oh, I don't know how he's got it. Oh, gotta memorize it. That's it. Looks stock as hell. S-Video. Now you at home, if you don't have that much experience, it's 4 pins inside of here. It splits up the color. It's the second best analog connection we got. Next would be component. For those of you who have VGA, is damn good too. S-Video, it has some interference, but not really. It's miles ahead of composite. It takes the blurriness away. It makes things sharp as hell. Almost no color bleeding. And then you just got the regular stereo sound. But be careful when you shove it in. You can bend those pins on the inside. But look at that. No hacking. Just the system as it's supposed to look. These things came with these horrible power bricks, and this is an aftermarket plug. It's cheap as hell, it's light, very flimsy, but it is brand new. And it doesn't draw nearly as much power as it would have 20 years ago. It outputs precisely the voltage that you need. You use this for my plug. Yeah, it's not original. Maybe I'll try to buy an original Duo plug if I find one cheap. It don't bother me, and it shouldn't bother you, particularly collectors. It's just, if you play your systems, you need to have proper power supply. Otherwise, you're just going to kill the damn thing. As far as that's it, I mean, I have some other games that I've purchased. I can't wait to see what they look like in S-Video. You know, obviously Bonk. It's going to look great. You know, Dragon Spirit. And then I got more in my trusty rubber band over here. So I got hours of fun, days, possibly months of actually getting to that Dungeon Explorer game. I'm going to start looking for books, Maybe if someone's got that 3-in-1 with the secret bonk in it, I'd love to have a copy of that. Any games. But right now, having this is an all-in-one system. You know, it's 5 different systems. That's one more than a Genesis 32X, Sega CD 32X. This is 5 systems. By far, it's a bargain, especially modded. It's got region modding in it, and it's got S-Video out. It's damn near perfect, and I'm going to shut this video off right now, and I'm going to go play this bad boy, and upload some videos later. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe if it's up here, it's down here, I don't know. But as you can see, I'm excited, and I'm going. Goodbye.